Hey guys, welcome to another week here with Memorial Day right around the corner. We're going to be making some really cool traditional American food, right? We could have done hamburgers, we could have done hot dogs, we could have done mac and cheese, but we're going to do the rib, right? This is a beautiful St. Louis cut rib, and then we're going to make some really nice potato salad using some Yukon potatoes. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep our St. Louis rib here. So this is like a 4-pound rib. First thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to trim off any fat, excess fat, right? Not all of it, anything that's hanging out. So get your knife, start trimming away at a little bit of fat, flip it around, take a look at it. There's a flap here, as you can see, but we don't want this. We want to take this flap off. So using your knife carefully, without taking any meat off, take your knife and run this flap. You don't want this. This is not going to cook. There's a ton of silver skin on it, and we don't want that. So we're going to discard that. And then we're going to see if there's any more fat. There's a little bit here I can see that we're going to get rid of. Okay. Next thing you want to do, very important, you have to do these to all your ribs. You're going to take your knife, and over here, you're going to make a little cut, a little insertion along the back of the rib. Right? You're going to take the tip of your knife. You're going to get in underneath that skin. If you can see here with my knife what I'm doing here, I'm getting underneath that skin right there. Carefully bring it towards you. Right? And now with a paper towel, a rag is fine, whatever it may be, get a hold of that flesh. Take your rib, get a hold of that flesh, and start to peel back on it. So, this is kind of where you want to take off. This is the membrane. This is not going to cook, and this is not going to taste good. So you want that off of your rib completely. So that's one piece right here, gone. And there's a little bit over here. Make sure you take it off on the entire rib. Okay. Take a look at it. It looks like it's all done. There's a little bit of flesh here. We're just going to take our knife, get underneath that, and just simply pull back on that, just like that. Okay, and that's that. Always want to do that. It's an important step when you're doing your ribs. So we're just going to take a quick glance at it again, see if there's any left over. There's a little bit here. Take that right off. Ooh, there you go. Next thing you want to do after your ribs are all nice and done, they're cleaned, they look pretty, they're beautiful, right? I'm going to salt it. Now, you can salt your rib for about 20 minutes to 25 minutes before doing this. You don't want to leave this overnight because what you're going to end up doing is curing your pork. You don't want to cure your pork. You just want the salt to penetrate the meat a little bit, give it a little flavor. So you can do this in advance, it's totally fine. Right? Once you're done doing that, you're going to take your favorite seasoning. Any barbecue rub you can find in your supermarket, whatever you like, you can make your own. Here we have something that we made, our specialty barbecue rub, and we're just going to put that right on top. Right? You're going to want to completely coat this pork. Don't leave any spots. Right? Just keep coating it. Take your hand. Now take that rub and dig it into the flesh, right? Nicely, just like that. Put a little bit more. Perfect. Flip your rib over. And the same thing to the other side. A little bit of that. A little bit of loving right on top. Right? Beautiful. Going. And make sure it's all nice and coated evenly. Right? Put it back on the other side. Just check for any spots that you might have missed. Go over it. And you're good. Next thing you're going to want to do once this is set, we're going to take, if you have a smoker, you can smoke this meat at 255 degrees for about 2.5–3 hours. If you don't have a smoker, I suggest what we're going to do today, since we're inside of a kitchen, regular kitchen, we're going to put this in aluminum foil. We're going to turn on our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to cook this bad boy for about 2 hours. And then when the 2 hours are up, we're going to uncover it, the aluminum foil, and you're going to baste it with whichever barbecue sauce you like, right? So let's get the aluminum foil first, and we'll wrap this thing up and put it in the oven. All right, now that your rib is beautifully coated with that beautiful seasoning, you're going to get a nice long piece of aluminum foil. Key, olive oil. Olive oil, a little bit of your aluminum foil. The reasoning, so the rib does not stick, and when you take off the rib from the aluminum foil, you won't peel off that bark that we're creating. Okay, put your rib right on. Put your rib face down. First, take this, fold in one half, fold in the other half, close this end, close this end. Like I said, you're going to throw it into an oven, 350 degrees for 2 hours. Once those 2 hours are up, we're going to unwrap her, we're going to glaze her, we're going to cook her for about another 10 minutes on high. We're going to crank the oven up to 500 degrees on high. We're going to caramelize that barbecue sauce, and we're going to enjoy. So we'll be right back to work on the potatoes. Now that our ribs are in the oven, we're going to start working on a really, really nice potato salad. So first thing you want to do, you want to get your potato. You can use anything you like, Idaho, Red Bliss, Yukon. In this case, I have a nice Yukon potato here, pre-washed. We're going to peel the skin off. And then normally what you want next to you is a nice bowl with ice cold water. The reason we do ice cold water is to stop the oxidation phase. If you put this just out in a regular bowl, you're going to have some nasty potato salad with some marks on it. You don't want brown marks. You don't want oxidized potatoes, right? Just keep peeling just like that. Peel until you got all those little brown spots off, right? That looks pretty good to me. You throw that right into your water mixture. Just ice and water is fine. You throw it in there, and then you should have a boiling pot of water, salted, on your stove, and you're going to cook these bad boys for about 10 minutes to 12 minutes until they're tender. Do not cut them. If you cut these in advance, what's going to end up happening, I know it is easier to cook, but they're going to break apart. You're better off cooking it whole, and then you can cut them as they're ready, right? So about 10 to 12 minutes, we're going to come back and we're going to cut these up and we're going to make our potato salad. So now that your potato is nice and boiled and you ran it under some cold water so it doesn't overcook on us, we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut this potato. Cut it down the middle once. Cut it like that. In half. 1 and 2. That's about the size you want right there. That's a nice one right there, right? Okay. Do that to the other one. 1 and 2, right? We're going to cut all these potatoes back. We're going to put them in a bowl, and then we're going to start making our salad. Alright, so the first step to our potato salad is that we want to do a sauce real quick, right? To cover that beautiful potato that we just cooked. Get some mayonnaise. So mayonnaise right in. Okay, that's about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise right there. 1 tablespoon of any good mustard that you like. It could be a deli mustard. It can be a honey mustard. 1 teaspoon of vinegar right inside. Just a little bit of salt right on top. Cracked pepper right in. Take a whisk. I'm just going to whisk that together just like that. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too loose. You should just be able to coat the potato. Alright. Now that your sauce is done, we're going to take this over, we're going to move that over, we're going to put our potatoes right here in the middle. First thing we want to do is we want to take onions. I got here half an onion diced. Throw that right in there. 3 celery stalks diced right in. 2 scallions here cut on the bias. I used the green part and I also used the part of the bottom of the stalk. I just boiled a couple eggs. You can dice them up, you can grate them. I just cook them and then I put them. I just cut them just along the same shape as the egg, keeping almost the same shape, just like that. You're gonna take your sauce. Alright, put it right over that. Touch more salt, just to get those potatoes flavored and seasoned. A little bit more of fresh cracked pepper on top. And then we're going to start mixing all that beautifulness up together. Now our salad is really coming together. If you like your salad really drenched and really wet, you can always double that recipe or even triple it. It's totally up to you. I'm not a big fan of having potato salad, you know, too creamy. It should just be right, and it should just coat that potato. Last ingredient we're going to add is some extra virgin olive oil right on top. We're going to do about 2 tablespoons. Mix all that goodness up. Now it's really starting to come into itself. Really nice, really creamy, really aromatic from the onions and the spring onion and the celery in there. Looks good. The acidity from the vinegar is really nice. The mustard cuts through. Really, really good stuff. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our ribs. We're going to see how they're looking, and then we'll start glazing them. Alright, so now that your ribs are just about done, we're at the 2-hour mark. As you can see, the ribs here, the bones here are starting to show. They can almost come off clean. Almost. Right? You don't want it to fully come off clean. You want nice tender ribs, but you want it to still have a touch bite. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to glaze these bad boys up with whatever barbecue sauce you have in house. Sweet Baby Ray's, Jim Ross's barbecue sauce. Shout out to Jim Ross. Whatever barbecue sauce you got at home, we're going to just put it on top. We're going to be using a little honey barbecue sauce here, courtesy of Sweet Baby Ray's. Put that right on top. Glaze her up. Alright. Next thing, if you have a brush at home, it's totally fine. If you have a knife, whatever you have at home, just to glaze them with, is totally okay. It's going to work. Just keep glazing it up. Make sure you cover every area of the rib, right? You don't want the rib to burn now. You want this honey, you want the honey and the sugar in the barbecue sauce to caramelize. And then that creates another layer of bark. So once this is all ready to go, blast your oven up to about 450, 500 degrees. You're going to cook this for about 6-7 minutes until this really is nice and caramelized. Once this is all done, we'll be back. We'll plate everything up. Alright, now that your ribs are done, they're tender, they're caramelized, we're going to start to cut them. So you're going to follow each line of rib here. Go down one, see how gently that comes off? Just take a look at that beautiness right there. That's beautiful. Wow. Almost slides right off. Follow the line. There you go. Now when you're plating these, just be delicate. Plate them however you like. Just gonna go around. We're gonna stack them on top of each other. Just be gentle with the rib. All that time in the oven, all that loving. I want to be gentle with it. Next thing you do, take that beautiful potato salad that we made, just put that right there in the front. Now we're starting to look like a backyard barbecue, just in-house. There you go. Some nice St. Louis barbecue ribs with some nice barbecue sauce on top, and a potato salad with onions, eggs, celery, all that good stuff in there. Alright guys, so now we finally finished our potato salad, our beautiful ribs that we made. Prep, cook, plate, and repeat. Thank you for tuning in this week. Just want to say Happy Memorial Day to all the veterans, all the people in service. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Here at PCPR, we really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and YouTube, and give us a thumbs up on this video. We'll see you next week.